Bonjour tout le monde at Ringside Crew. My name is Ashley D'Amboise.
This is Cena San Antonio, your NYWC Scarlet Champion.
This is the Savage Juggernaut, Tamaku.
And you're listening to Dudes at Ringside Podcast with Joe Panther and the Metal Geek.
You're watching and listening to the Dudes at Ringside Podcast, hosted by Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside Podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther the Bird, and now introducing from the top of a very snowy metal mountain, it's the Happy Heel himself.
It's snowing?
Oh, it's the holiday season. Right. It's the Happy Heel himself, the Metal Geek guy.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Joe? How's it going?
Pretty good, 4 episodes left, in this beautiful year.
Final. Never mind.
It's the final that thing. I want to get
thing. Yeah, we don't want to get
final count of down. No copyright strikes for us, please. So let's give a war. Welcome back to Killjoy Colby Mack, and now her boyfriend Tyler. What?
Thunderbird?
Thunderbird Tyler.
Yeah.
Hey, there we are.
Hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome back.
Tomorrow, VPW can't wait.
You have a VPW fan. He always comes in. He does the promotion. So if you have any questions about VPW, definitely ask him. He loves that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Geek, what'd you do?
Uh-oh.
We frozen.
Yeah,
you're
fine. You're fine now.
Hey.
I'm like, oh no. So we already know you, Killjoy, even though if you have any other new stuff that you since the last time we saw you, they're not. If our fans that are new here, they don't know you, introduce yourself again, and then Tyler.
Oh, well, I am the Queen Killjoy, Colby Max. I have wrestled in states of West Virginia, Ohio, Tennessee, and now North Carolina because I got the privilege of wrestling at WrestleCade this past year.
Definitely, yeah.
And hopefully in 2022, I can go to new places, including Texas and New York. But enough about me. I want you all to see my king, the Pro Wrestling Thunderbird, Tyler Osbourne. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm not very interesting. I've wrestled in 3 states. I've wrestled West Virginia, North Carolina, and now Tennessee because I got to go down there with her back a few months ago and wrestle in Bristol. Yeah, that's about it.
You're in a tag team with Sid Myers.
I'm in a tag team, the Naughty Birds with Sid Myers.
Definitely got to remember that for next year. Well, definitely, Geek. You know what? I'm thinking of another month we could do.
Tag teams. Yeah.
What?
Not a bad idea, right?
Tag team month. Oh, we got to remember that for next year. There you go. See, this year was like what kind of random week are we gonna have? Oh, there's a bunch of girls from the same promotion. Liberty Pro Month. That's what we did. It's like throwing darts at the wall in the dark. Ow, over my head, Joe. Sorry, Geek. No.
Joe, you talk too much.
Anyway. No, it's like that's how we did it this year. Every time someone would cancel, somebody random from another promotion would pop in. It was like, oh, look, same promotion. Oh, that's what it is. So next year, we're all set. So, yeah, welcome back, Killjoy, and welcome to the Dudes at Ringside family, Mr.
Thunderbird.
Mr. Thunderbird.
Hey, thanks.
Welcome. And actually, you're leading off couples weekend, so
Hey!
even more fun. Have a fun weekend with the couples.
Exactly. Yep. So, what was your first match like in front of a crowd? If you don't mind me asking.
Let's see. My first match was a battle royal. See, back when before we did it, you all know about the House of Rage and where we train and everything.
I think she told us about that.
So before the House of Rage, the guy that started it, and then there was two more. We used to train at a fire station about 20 minutes, 15 minutes from where I live, and we would set up the ring and train for like 2-3 hours before show. And that was where I made my debut in a battle royal under a mask that I bought from George South back in 2012, and I was the Blue Flame.
You didn't tell me about the George South mask.
Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you about that?
No.
Uh-oh. I was going to start a fight now.
Secret.
Nah, it's one between mom and dad.
Yeah.
My parents being like,
Well, there is a ring, right? You guys could settle it out. You're both wrestlers.
Fair. Well, we have been in matches against each other. We were in that scramble match in a battle. We've been in multiple battle royals,
mm-hmm.
and then we've tagged once. But yeah, we never had a singles match. I don't think.
No.
Maybe we have in
Never on
training, but
never on the show, just at training.
hmm
So, I as a what's it called? As a couple, which couples would you guys love to face?
For me, definitely Blanco and Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the privilege to tag with Kincaid against Ellie and Blanco Laco. What about you?
Facade and Danny Moe, that'd be a good one.
Ooh, I didn't think about them. I love that. Chelsea Green and Matt Cardona.
Oh,
So
that could
who's
happen.
there?
Did you see what happened to I guess it was on Impact. Matt Cardona
Oh
accidentally.
yeah, he accidentally smacked her upside the head with the
Oh,
chair.
dude, she's dead. I was like,
I know. I saw that this morning while I was going through my feed. Because my the carrier doesn't have that channel, unfortunately, and it's so frustrating. But I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, "It's too early for this." It was the first thing I saw in the morning.
I caught after I get out of the shower. Like when I pushed the Instagram button, it lit up, and then they kept going. And all of a sudden, I see this clip of he grabs a chair, and then he goes to hit Moose. Right? It was Moose,
I'm pretty sure
and he just you heard that. I was like,
she took it like a champ, though.
yeah, she did. She didn't go. She went through. She spun around.
She's such a baddie.
Yeah.
Another one I
saw
could
the black eye forming too.
another one I could see you guys is Teal Piper and Demonos. It would be an awesome match.
I've never heard.
They're a couple too.
Where do they wrestle around?
That's down south in Florida.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah. But
Well,
that'd be awesome too, though, right?
well, once he gets out of this thing, hopefully.
Or he's got a hurt wing. Oh no.
So if any promoters are listening, because we know promoters listen
Never
to
know.
us, so it could happen. Book
We have
these
that
two
dude that
together.
ringside magic. You never know. We may see a poster with you versus them. I'm like, whoa, look what we did.
Definitely.
I teased it on my podcast. There you go. Right.
Okay. Our podcast, geek.
Did I say my podcast?
Yeah.
Oh,
Our podcast.
our podcast.
What is that
Don't make me
movie?
say it.
What's that movie with the guy from that 70s show? Which he says,
Ashton
"What's yours-
Kutcher.
Yeah, what's yours is mine." She shows the Vegas. What that movie with whatever Ashton Kutcher when you with
The Just Married movie, or is that
yes,
another movie?
when he says something to her, and she's like, "What's yours is mine now." Like she shows the ring, and it's like he forgets that they got married, and she shows the ring, and he goes, it just shows his face like
Another VPW guy, Brandon. What's going on, dude? Right?
Brandon.
See you tomorrow. So
Yep. VPW people are coming out in droves now.
they're trying to hint at you guys something right now.
Yeah, man.
That you need to calm
Really
down.
good promotion. It's white hot their roster right now, and it's like a hidden gem on Long Island. Like totally, and their show's almost sold out for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's basically, I think it's General Mission. That's the only thing that's left right now.
Yeah. and their women's champion right now. She's had how long has Karen Bam Bam had the title, Geek?
Over
now?
2 years.
Over 2 years.
I think she's gonna hold it till next year.
Yeah,
she's not losing it.
I've heard some Geek has heard some stories from female wrestlers that had to wrestle Karen Bam Bam that you don't want to get hit by her. It's like getting hit by a truck. And she does like that cannonball thing that Kevin Owens does.
She does a cannonball. It's crazy.
I took one of those from Freya the Slay, except I was hanging upside down and dangling from the top turnbuckle.
Oh,
Ooh, that's even worse.
Sucked. And whenever I wrestled her at WrestleCade, she did it again.
Oh, jeez.
And by the way, Brendan's hinting something. I don't know. It's like, see you tomorrow. You never know what could happen. And
jeez.
The eyes.
Geek,
Unless
you never know what. Geek, you're gonna get involved in something. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
If Geek's getting involved. Oh god.
Oh, Geek, prepare. I'll prepare the sad TikTok video with the violin music, and I'm just like, I'll have that fit the fake tear. Like, I used to have the voice. I used to have a co-host to Dudes at Ringside, and have to have a picture of Geek just fading away, and it's just like me by myself, and I'm just like.
I'm trying to think of what this one song was. It was like a meme on Instagram for the longest time. It was like the Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm bad at keeping up with things.
Yeah. It's so hard because, like, I post all our promos and all our fun things on TikTok also. So they're there forever. And I get mad. I'm like, why do these not have a lot of views?
I don't have TikTok, so I apologize.
I had it for like Ghostbusters reasons, and then I just changed it to Dudes at Ringside because I'm like, that's the more important thing right now.
Yeah, definitely.
It has 100 and something views at least. Like your video has like 100 and something views.
Which one, mine?
What's Geek?
Which one? The eyeball one?
No, what? No, the one
you know the one I'm talking.
No, Geek, I don't know what you're talking about.
The breaking news video.
Oh no, I forgot how many views that one has. But the one that got me like confused why it has so many views is a video I made with my boss. And it's like
it's because you tagged Joe's tea.
Joe's tea. It's a tea that I don't know if they have it where you live. It's a lemonade and it has teas. It's called Joe's tea. They have chips too. And like I want a tea that has a really cool name. And he's like, and it's like, all right, I'll help you find it. And it's Joe's tea.
When I was like in like 9th or 10th grade, I wanted to start a tea brand called 20th letter of the alphabet.
20th letter?
Jeez.
Because T is the 20th letter of the alphabet.
Yeah, that would be
What?
I didn't know about that.
You didn't know that?
No.
That's why I was like, I thought you were just saying the name. I feel dumb now.
Yeah.
Cool.
I confused my friend Lauren so much.
I didn't get the assignment. Nope.
Joe never got the assignment.
I didn't get the
Joe
assignment.
failed.
Oh, you have a cute. It's a golden doodle.
Yeah.
Yep. That's our mod. That's our mod's dog.
That's Rookie right
that's
there.
Rookie.
Oh my gosh.
He's hilarious. I've only encountered him on camera before a show.
He talks to you.
He growled at me and I growled back at him.
He talks to you like you tell him. You tell him.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
You tell him no, Rook. No. He goes like that. I'm like, no, Rook. Like that.
He knows at any time I see a dog or something that walks on 4 legs, it's game over.
Oh, that's the
called her
right
out
there.
for it, and then like
Not
10
even
minutes later,
no,
she
not
goes to the
even
motion.
like 2 minutes later. It's a schnauzer.
I have a wiener dog. His name's Dexter. He's adorable.
Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a pea-brained Australian Shepherd that made an appearance at the last podcast because he decided to bust into the room.
Oh, geez. He's like, I'm here.
Thunderbird, do you have any pets or?
No.
No pets. Right?
You're obsessed with the Mexican dwarf lobsters at
Yeah,
Petland,
every
though.
time we go to the pet store to go play with dogs, they have these little I think they're crawdads,
No, they're Mexican dwarf lobsters.
Well, they're from the family of the crawdads,
Crawdads are lobster
and
family.
they're just little lobsters, and
geez.
they're neat.
They're like this big. They only get that big,
They
and
get a little bit bigger than that.
I want to get him one for Christmas, but he wouldn't let me.
Can you? There's a funny question. If you wanted to eat it and you were desperate, could you eat it?
The only reason why I say no is because he would have such a strong emotional bond to it that I probably couldn't do that to him.
Like, I don't know. I'm thinking because I'm like, it is technically a food source.
I mean, because you can eat crawdads. I remember at camp, whenever we would catch crawdads, we would eat them.
That's what I was wondering. Like, and you said that, and I was going, but could you eat it? Even though it's just like you get nothing out of it.
I've actually never, despite the fact we would always catch them, I never ate one.
I just feel so bad. I'm like, that's your pet, technically friend, and I'm eating my friend.
I like lobster though.
There's some other kind of like lobster thing they have there.
They have
too,
like
that's
blue lobsters.
Yeah, it's like a lot bigger, and
it's like
about that. Shoot,
about the size of the fist.
I've seen those blue lobsters. Yeah.
But the Mexican dwarf lobsters, and you also like those little albino frogs.
African dwarf frogs, I think is what they're called. African
Probably.
Are those poisonous or?
I don't think so.
No, it's weird because they live in water and they swim around, but they don't have gills. They have lungs, so they periodically have to swim up for air. So they have to live in a shallow water tank, and it's just.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think they could sell a poisonous frog to like.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They can't unless you're at a black market store and you're like, hey.
You can buy
Even at that, why would you want to buy? Why would you want to buy that?
Some people have exotic pets, so I don't know why would somebody want a tiger? Why would somebody want
Scarface murdered a tiger?
Yeah,
exactly.
We watched Scarface last week. Last week or 2 weeks ago?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All I can think is the frog from Futurama with the weird eyes. It's like
Hypnotoad.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
It's like, I don't want a frog. I don't need. They're stupid. I love frogs. Hypnotoad. It's my friend. That's all I can think. They need to bring that show back. I'd watch the hell out of it.
They've had brought it back for 4 seasons and they canceled it again.
Yeah, they didn't cancel. The last episode was so weird. I was like, what just happened? They showed
Don't worry. It's going to come back and it's going to get canceled.
You say that, but.
Yeah, but ... Like, because you remember, I thought for like 2 years that they canceled American Dad because of Fox. And then my brother was like, what are you talking about, Joe? ... Randy. It's on TBS. I'm like, that bullshitting, Keith. Dude, that's not cool. And then he's like, go watch it. It's on at 9 o'clock, like 8 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, right. So I went on and I'm like, this is a new episode. What the hell, Fox? You missed your golden goose. This show, I love Family Guy. I love Simpsons. Not for nothing. But American Dad, I was laughing the whole episode. And
American Dad's his favorite.
Stupid.
Sorry. I'm torn between American Dad and The Cleveland Show as my favorite.
Yeah,
Rick and Morty owns them all.
When I was 14, I would binge watch South Park.
I was watching South Park today because on Fridays during the day they show like back to back episodes of South Park, and I was just dying laughing at the stuff that they would get away with. I'm like, holy crap! Like,
the thing is, I feel like everybody has accepted that there's like these dedicated shows that just don't give a crap, and no matter what time that they were made, they just won't age well. Like IE, Impractical Jokers, South Park.
Oh yeah.
Boy, I sure can't wait to see people watching reruns of Impractical Jokers 20 years from now.
That's the guys from Long Island, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, fun fact, my sister's fiance they own that Carvel that was on the one episode of the show. Did you ever watch that old episode of Unpractical Jokers when they're in the Carvel? That's my sister's fiance's Carvel.
I think so. Is that a restaurant?
Yeah, ice cream place.
Oh yeah, the one where they brought the old picture of Sal on a cake.
Yeah, that's my sister's fiance's Carvel. Fun fact. Her name is Melissa. Yep. when I'm there, if I go there during the summer next year, or whenever I go back to Long Island, where they live, I'll take a picture in front of the store or at the register. We're like, and then I'll tell you, look, I'm here. This is the place. They have this.
You better not forget that.
Oh, they were.
Joe forgets everything.
I forget. I'll be like, oh yeah.
He forgets people's names. He forgets.
He's the same way.
Yes, I dubbed myself as the drunk Howard Finkel. I get one half of the name, and then the other half of the name just goes.
Geek has to be the brain of Joe.
Oh yeah, he became like. I tell this to Geek. Reason why I forget is I'm not stage fright. It's just I remember one part of it, and when the light goes on, it says live. My mind just goes blank. It just goes Thanos. I'm like,
you forgot everything.
He opens mouth, but the words won't come out.
Yes, I'll add it. There goes the spaghetti, Mama Spaghetti. Had Eminem just throwing up. That's me. That's me.
What would you say? What would you say your guys' favorite matches are? Like,
You go first.
Like on the indies that you've been a part of.
Oh, the matches that we've been in.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
I had a really good tag match back whenever I first started. It was me and Kirk Blackman versus Rocky Rage and Jack Ram Lethal.
Mm-hmm.
That was back when we were still in the fire department. I miss wrestling there sometimes, but boy, I sure don't miss the hell that came with it.
And now it could be anything. I said the match could be anything now. So what would you say?
I'm real big on
One night stand.
That was a good one. Cena and RVD at One Night Stand 06, but I think probably John Cena and CM Punk at Money in the Bank 2011.
That's a classic right there.
Oh gosh, bona fide classic.
That's like the first 5-star match WWE has ever gotten in the 6 was it, Joe? 8 years? 9? I forgot what it was.
There's been matches that you don't realize they are 5-star Geek, but they are.
Let's look.
And then there's some funny you say that because there are some matches that like I feel like you don't really think that they're good until like a few years later.
Yeah,
I'm saying on the Meltzer scale.
It's 6 stars.
That would be if it was in a Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, there's a few matches that I've watched back from ECW that I'm like, at first I'm like, I don't like this match, but then I'm like, go back and I'm like, most this match, of course, was a good one because it's a hardcore match and Tommy Dreamer is in it. Tommy Dreamer versus Raven back in the day, the cage match they did, instant classic. And I watched it back and I'm like, man, why did I complain about this match? Because as a teen, it was really good, like a really good match. And Dreamer and Raven, like, it has the best spot. You definitely have to find it on YouTube or the net. Oh, the network wouldn't have it because they're Thanosing all the hardcore fun things because of NBC. Like, you may have to go on YouTube and look up Raven versus. You may find a bunch of them. Raven versus Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, because they feuded, didn't they?
Yeah, they feuded for a while. There were a lot of Ravens versus Dreamer matches, like a lot. Like, I was shocked. I was like, damn. The only one I caught was the one that they showed on MSG Network. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
What?
Now I'm looking. I'm trying to find the last match they got before that Money in the Bank match.
Oh,
they haven't gotten anything since then.
Oh, he's researching.
I'm
Geek.
researching.
I told Geek when in the future, if we make it really big with the podcast, I watch this show that's on Geek. No, that's not me. There's a show I watch on a sports channel that they do their podcast with the microphones, and they're in the same room, but they're like
Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, Joe.
Okay.
The last match, I think it was 1997.
It looks like it's going to be us in the future with the camera in the corner, and the camera turns, and it shows like a pan shot of them talking, and then when one guy talks, the camera will go up close up on his face, and then the guy talks, it shows that guy. And I'm like, that's going to be our podcast in the future, Geek, if we ever make it big or get really rich. We'll
Yeah.
be at the same room, but like separate stands from each other. And he'll have his laptop, but I'll have a laptop for research purposes. Like we have to look something up or have a guest and stuff like that. He's fine, Geek. Why'd you say, oh no?
Sorry.
It happens. Allergies.
Thank you.
Yes. I believe you, Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Allergies suck. I have them.
He does too. I did too.
Weather here loves to jump around all 4 seasons in a week.
What's the weather like by you guys? This was like, what is it today here? It's like, in Pennsylvania, it's 34 degrees. And,
It's like 51 here.
Something like that.
I take that.
Thunderbird, who would you say your unicorn is? Oh, sorry.
He's
I'm
having
sorry.
a moment. What were you saying? What was the question?
What would you say his dream match is?
Oh, probably either wrestling Dolph Ziggler or Zack Sabre Jr.
That dude versus Zack Sabre Jr. would be awesome, by the way.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I also like Jay Lethal.
Oh yeah, Jay Lethal. Love him.
Could learn so much from him, you know?
There's like so many like young wrestlers right now in the wrestling business in the indies that are like so good right now. It's like it's hard to say what state has the best amount of indie wrestlers, and you can't because it's so like spread out now.
Yeah.
Like with your state, New York, New
Florida.
Jersey, Connecticut, like
Florida.
Like we've interviewed so many different people from different states and countries that it's like if anybody says, "Oh, what?" People have asked, "So what state do you like interviewing the most?" And I'm like, for the indies, and I'm like, we can't really say because there's so many good states that have the indie wrestlers, and everybody wants to be noticed now, and it's hard because now everybody has a podcast, and a lot of people are not asking to do podcasts because they're scared, but like.
Yeah.
We're like the lifeboat. I like the cool boat that's it's going by really slow. Going, hey, you want to hang out with us? We have a microphone. We'll help you. And they're like, no, I'll swim to the shore. I don't need anybody. I'll find my way up on the spotlight.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him because it's your first podcast. So I mean, I told him. I mean, it's not gonna be like, so what inspired you? And just like cliche questions like that. I mean, there's a difference between like asking like a reasonable amount of questions, like your dream match and stuff like you've asked, and then like asking like, what's your favorite color? You know, like I don't know what else to.
Yeah. Us, me and Joe were so chill.
It's just like that's what I've liked about all the podcasts that I've been on. It's just like it's not really anything. Like it's either like it's like a quality interview where it's like this, where it's just chill conversation.
Yeah,
like hanging out. It's not even like.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just about to say it's just about like hanging out. That's all our podcasts are.
That's what I was about to say too. We treat this like we're at a pizza place, hanging out, eating pizza, drinking beers or sodas, and just chilling.
And they're just recorded.
It's like we're being recorded, like a TV show.
We're recording conversations.
I told this to a British wrestler named Kaya that was completely nervous. I think I told you about this last time, Killjoy. Like the girl was like, "Oh God, guys, I'm so nervous. And I said, "Listen to your buddy Panther Joe. Just to get you relaxed a little bit, just think of this as a hangout at a pizza place, or no, I said barbecue because it was like July. Like we're at a barbecue, eating hot dogs and hamburgers, drinking soda, and talking about professional wrestling." And she's like, "Oh my God, I feel so relaxed now." And the whole interview was hilarious. And she's like our second most popular.
No, is it second? Yeah, no, she's been bad.
Second most popular podcast we've had in the ones that like they're on the like, anywhere you can find the podcast.
She's been bouncing back and forth though.
Between Kiara, you have to check out Kiara. She was our first British wrestler we ever interviewed.
Interesting.
Like, she found us. It was hilarious. Like I just saw some wrestlers like, "Yeah, I'll come on your podcast. What do you guys do?" She found us. We were just sitting there doing whatever, and like we always do when we're not doing a podcast, while I'm watching TV or Geek is doing something. And she messaged us, and Geek's like, "Who's Kiara?" I'm like, "Yeah, who's Kiara? And I looked at her stuff and I'm like, she's like, when can I come on? And I'm like, Geek, is the Thursday okay? And he's like, what Thursday? And I told him the date and he's like, all right, we'll do it. And yeah.
That's a top podcast right there.
And that gave us the internationally known headline of in our name.
Mhm.
And then the UK opened up for us, and then the map just like
Open.
like one of those video games that you unlock
Unlock the map. You have to unlock the map. You keep going, like dude.
Like the PlayStation went and it showed like the world. It showed the world, the dudes behind it like that. We did it.
What game would that be? I think it would be like Mario or something like that, where you're just walking around like this.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I'm thinking of the new logo for next year.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god.
It might be 3D World. I think I know what you're talking about.
Was it Mario World?
Is it
I
Mario?
think it was 3D World.
Yeah.
Maybe Zelda.
Was it if it was a newer one or somewhat newer one?
Maybe
it would have been 3D World.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about our logo for next year. Oh my god, Geek, have behind us, instead of like a Christmas ball like the one we have right now, put like the world behind us.
as a globe or something.
Yeah, because we're the international. Yeah. So what would you both of you be like your favorite movie of all time?
Well, mine, the two I'm torn between is Call Me by Your Name and Silence of the Lambs. And what's yours?
Sorry, still getting over that coughing fit. Probably, I saw American Sniper when it first came out. And
that was a great movie. That one. Chris Kyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was such a great
Bradley
movie.
Cooper.
So sad in the end of the movie,
Spoiler alert, Geek.
I still haven't seen it, but I'm no. Story. Because it's based off a true story.
Yeah. So, but yeah. That movie, such a great movie. Bradley Cooper is awesome.
Me beside Ghostbusters, The Crow. The Crow in Jurassic Park. Because anytime we get a cancellation, I always think chaos. First, I think chaos, and then add Stewie rocking back and forth. Cancel? Geek used to make fun of me every time. Like, yeah, that's me with the Stew with the black lines under his eyes. Geek used to make fun of me like on a daily basis when someone would cancel on us. He's like, "That's you, Joe. When you see your phone, you see someone canceling, you're like, cancel. Nah, I just do this."
Okay, who's next?
Ding dong. Hello. Hi. What are you doing? Screw you. Because as I told Geek, if we get a wrestler that's mad and I'm gonna cancel on you and you message too much, okay. Get away from the door.
Goodbye.
Next. Yeah. Next. How do we do? I don't panic anymore.
Wrestlers have gave us attitudes before. So I was like,
that's why I said you're gonna.
So Joe, they did say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cancel on you guys, and I'll be like, okay, you're just missing your opportunity. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, we now with making our page a professional account, we have the Prime and the Gallery. So you guys are in the Prime, of course, because our buddies and your recent interview. You're gonna stay in the Prime because you guys are friends. He's our family. You're part of the Dudes at Ringside family now, so
yeah,
you guys are gonna stay in there forever.
Dads.
Yes.
The first thing he ever said to me in person was, "Hey, Dad."
The reason why I do this is the heart's on fire.
Oh, like that one emoji.
Fair enough. I like that.
I like fire because Eddie, baby.
Hello.
Because I like fire because I'm Boricua heat.
She's my dream opponent. Just saying.
That would be a pretty interesting interview because you two would make a really good promo interview against each other, promo against each other, because the way your character is and the way Bailey is, and she just starts laughing, you start laughing, you're like, what are we laughing about? I don't know.
We were actually practicing promos and training once, so we did one against each other.
Did we?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's when I said the one thing. You always okay. Remember that one day they were like, cut a promo against as if you're facing Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Great Balls of Fire. I'm Brock Lesnar. you might be bigger than me, but I'm gonna march down to that ring.
I don't know what I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna step between those ropes, and then I'm.
Well, you were doing
then
good.
I'm
You were doing
gonna.
good.
And I was like, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. So I'm
I mean, you were
gonna-
doing good. You
You're
just didn't know
gonna
where
hit
you were.
me, and I'm gonna fall
Suplexing.
down, something like that.
Yep, hearts on fire, of course.
Do you guys have any stories with each other, or like road trips, or?
I mean, when we first met, we actually technically met on a Zoom call, technically.
That is
But
true.
yeah, because he insulted me for the way I ate my Kit Kats, because I would just bite into them. But no, the first time we met in person was it was our first training session back, like during COVID. It was our first one back. He just looks at me and says, "Hey, Dad." It was in that moment where I realized I wanted to marry him. Yeah, we were actually both seeing someone at the time when we first met, but we immediately became best friends.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, road trip stories. Well, we've gone to Tennessee together.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I mean, we've been throughout West Virginia.
Talk about our trip when we went down to the beach.
Oh yeah, we went down to the beach this past summer with 3 of our friends. It was us 2 and 3 other of our friends.
We're also wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Went down to Emerald Isle. Oh my gosh, beautiful beach. Beautiful.
We're hoping to go
Love
back
that
really,
area.
really soon,
Yeah.
even if it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
We love it. We hope to move to North Carolina at some point in time.
I'm trying to get booked down there because I think Steve Carino's got a show down there, PWF.
And we know Rob Killjoy wrestles around there. I haven't seen him in forever, but if we do end up going down there, say within the next month or 2, we might try to get a hold of Colby Carino because he's really cool.
Worst can worse, I'll holler.
Steve Carino, please. I know you probably getting deep wrestling conversation, but just reference us because he's the dream interview. It's Steve Carino.
It was Al Snow. Now it's still Steve Carino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next year, we keep lining them up. That's it.
Because we're slowly, as I told you before, our months are going to become what they should be. Like what wrestlers we're going to be spotlighting certain promotions in March.
Mm-hmm.
So like the one promotion by me in Pennsylvania, another promotion you should think about trying if you come to New York, try to come to PA too. It's called PPW. It's another good promotion. Danny Moe wrestles there also. So
ooh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I'll ask her about it.
It's a good. Actually, she'll be there in February because
I just sent Joe the poster, and Joe's like, oh shit! All right.
Yeah. I hope I have my stickers. Hope I still have stickers by that time.
And then you run up to Danny Moe like, wait, where's the stickers? Oh,
here, Miss Mo, I have a sticker for you.
Like, oh, your dude's at ringside.
You're the ones that keep messaging me.
Yeah. What's his name? Hey, remember what I told you about dudes at ringside, honey? What? And he grabs me by the arms, and she just pounds the knife out of me. That's it. That'll be
I'm glad Joe would be the one meeting
sneak
her,
attack
not
on the
me.
dudes at ringside podcast. Come back. I'm like, geek. Danny Moe doesn't like us. Ow.
I think she just rejected the show.
But she did tell us in the nicest way possible because I heard Danny Moe is such a sweetheart. She was like,
Oh, she is.
I'm really busy. I don't really have time. And
which is true.
I understand. Because you guys have the craziest lives traveling and doing stuff. I understand you guys can't message us back immediately.
Yeah, I always try to message people immediately, but sometimes just.
I'm the worst about replying, especially on social media, because I try to stay off it as much as I can.
I understand completely. Like if you see Danny Moe, just tell her that Joe Metal Geek are good. They're nice guys. They just they see how good you are and they want to help you get your name. She's already known all over the place because she's
AW Dark too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's on AW Dark, and we want to help her get known across the seas because we've been seen as far as
Australia.
She told me about stories about her going to Russia with Facade. It was interesting. They would call her like Little Ninja.
Little Ninja.
Little Ninja.
She also trains people. She's like a physical fitness trainer.
She is.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh yeah. She's busy. Whoa. I thought she was saying that because she's busy with the wrestling stuff. And then I seen it in the story. I was like, yeah, that's why she's busy. I was like, okay, that's right. Yeah.
How did you get the name Thunderbird?
Well, basically, I wasn't even really doing this gimmick whenever I was first starting thinking, when I was first training. And then I was wearing a white shirt one day to train, and it was Blake Hall that helped me come up with the gimmick. He says, you should wear a, actually, let me see if I can do it in my best Blake voice. He told me you should throw on a leather jacket with that, Bubby, and be a greaser. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. No one does greaser in wrestling anymore. And I started thinking about all kinds of greaser things because my favorite game of all time was Bully.
I remember that game.
All right, that game was awesome.
I was trying to think of something with that, and then I thought, you know what, a Thunderbird. Or people say Thunderbird with cars all the time, and I remember this old song whenever I was a kid. It was called like Black and Blue Thunderbird.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it a rock song or is that a country song?
I think it's an old rock song, like maybe even like doo-wop is what it would be considered, maybe.
I think I know the song, but I don't want to get copyright if I try to sing it, and I can't sing, so I'm just gonna stay away from the singing. Yeah.
But I just kind of thought of that, and I was like, Thunderbird sounds cool. The Pro Wrestling Thunderbird.
Yeah, it does sound cool, and your T-shirt looks cool too. I was looking at it on your Instagram.
Thank you.
I don't think you get copyright strike if you start singing a couple tones from the song, Joe.
I'm thinking.
I sang "Lose Yourself" earlier. I hope you guys don't get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, wait, it's not the actual song. It's just a lyric. No,
it's funny because my mom was down here before, like doing something, and she put on her iPod, and she was playing, so it's not that loud, but I was like walking through the room, and I was like, oh God, Mom, I hope you're not down here when I do the podcast. You play your music, and all of a sudden I forgot to close the door, and the music's playing in the background. We're just doing it. We're talking. I made a whole story, and then all of a sudden he loads it on Facebook and gets a report on his email. Episode blah 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 with two guests has been reported for copyright. Joe, what do you mean copyright? Yeah, that's why sometimes Facebook has the rules and regulations on Facebook and Instagram.
I didn't get copyright strike for anything.
No, it was be a joke, and that's what I'm saying. You'd be like, oh, no, like the rules and regulations on Facebook are like, on Instagram are so loopy. Like, I did a thing for a guy from Florida that's the Golden Girls' favorite wrestler, and I used a song they have in their music. And you could put in your story, you could put a song with it. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
And I did it as a reel, and I used a bunch of his clips from his matches, posted it. Like, whoa.
Anyways, yeah, he's having a moment. But anyways, continue.
I posted it an hour later. I get this text message. I go to my email and I see a 1. I go and I go, Instagram is taking down your video for copyright strike. And I was like, I think Geek saw the thing. Oh, your video got taken down. And I was like, what did I do? The music was yours. The music was Instagram's. And I'm like,
yeah, if I'm watching a WWE show, and like when we used to do watch-alongs on here, me and Joe used to do watch-alongs. We used to hear the background, and they would copyright us strike for that.
That's why a lot of videos that are used in indie wrestling, because in indie wrestling, anybody uses any song because we don't have to worry about that, fortunately. That's why a lot of times you won't see the person's entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of
and that's why at OBW we have to use just instrumental music unless you have a song that was made for you or you have the rights to. That's why Dark Clouds is able to use a song with lyrics in it.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny when we had Al Snow on the podcast, we mentioned you guys. We mentioned you and your tag team partner. He's like, yeah, they're good. They're a good team. They're very good. They're very good.
Yeah.
He gave you guys props. Oh shucks.
Yeah, Al Snow was awesome, by the way.
And I'm thinking, oh God, he's not gonna like us. He was such a nice guy.
He is.
So sweet. He was making, what was he making? Hamburger? What was he making? A hamburger?
You're making something for it was the day before Thanksgiving. He came on our podcast. The day
We were
before,
worried
I'm
he was
like,
going to cancel because Thanksgiving, and we would have been like, okay, Al, we'll find him.
and it's like, and then he goes up to us. It's like, he goes, no, thanks for rescheduling. That's what he's told us. So I was like,
Yeah, because he did during the podcast. We had to reschedule because something happened up with him, and we were like, okay, no problem, no problem. And I was getting the emails back and forth, and because he he does the email thing, and I understand that. And Geek's like, why don't I ever see it? Because it's in my email, so I see all the no's. Well, I never got any no's. I did on Instagram. I was stupid. I went on. It was dumb. I shouldn't do that. But yeah. So, is there any other countries you guys want to wrestle in?
You want to wrestle in the UK?
Yeah, I'd want to wrestle in England.
Same.
I could wrestle in England and then I'd be done. I'm good.
There's two promotions. Well, for me that I know of, I know a lot of other promotions in England, but the ones I always tell people to try out is Coventry Pro Wrestling and UK Wrestling.
And Fight Factory.
Coventry Pro is we've had quite a few of their wrestlers on our podcast. We have had Kiara, Shorty, Alfie, the COO of Coventry Pro, Nathan.
Good guy.
Good guy. Oh my gosh, such a nice guy. You would love him. He's as cool as Al. You'd be like, wow, he's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we message him back and forth all the time, sometimes late at night, and he'll respond to us, right?
I get worried because we don't want to get like blackballed for messaging people, but even though
he's been super cool. He's been super cool with us. So
even though Instagram's now telling us that something about rules and regs when you go into a certain chat on Instagram, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know. Instagram.
Do you guys have any upcoming shows or
I'm going to be in Tennessee tomorrow, actually, at Imperial Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Who are you wrestling?
I'm not sure who I'm wrestling yet. I will find out who's there, but knowing how it's an amazing promotion, I will be happy with whatever I get.
Awesome. No, I was just wondering if you usually tell people as well. Sorry.
I was going to ask. I was asked Thunderbird, but then I remembered.
Yeah. Basically, anytime you see me now, it's usually managing Sid Meier's. Of course, once the beginning of the year rolls around, I'm going to get my Virginia license and Virginia manager's license and go down there and start trying to manage him on more shows.
Yeah. Sid Meier's the man who stole Tyler Osbourne from Kolbe Max.
Hey.
You even got yelled at a fan because of that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you do come back, you should keep the cast on.
Bob Orton it.
Oh yeah.
No. Keep the cast on. Be like as a secret, like say, you know what? I'm back, and just hit the guy with the cast, and just rip the cast off, and just step on it, and be like, see, all good.
Or if you go heel on your partner, and I know you wouldn't, like you should be like, you just hit him with the cast, and then in their crowd's like, oh my god, he's injured, and just whack him in the back of the head, and then you heel turn.
No one will ever know. No one will ever know. See, I'm giving ideas. I'm being a director, Joe.
Dark Thunderbird. The Dark Thunderbird.
I love this brace they gave me. It's still waiting on the bill too.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so I had to custom mold this to my arm. I broke my arm twice this year.
What?
Twice in 1 year.
One on a Japanese arm drag and one doing it up and over, actually with me. Yep, shoot him off, does an up and over.
Yeah, the dumbest thing. Go to push down on the top rope and it just right back. And I'm like, what the hell? I mean, it hurt, but I was like, yeah, what the
So it wasn't like limp down when you broke it? It just was just like normal?
Actually, hang on. I can take
It'll take a second.
I'm supposed to take this thing out a couple times a day anyway.
Well, back in the 90s, the cast, you couldn't even get them off. You were stuck with this big...
Oh, it's just a brace.
Oh, yeah. Back in the old days, there was a big foam thing on your arm for like a few months.
Yeah, you can kind of tell my arm's my bone's a little bendy there, a
Oh yeah.
little bit, but it'll be okay.
Well,
I can't afford the surgery again.
Yeah,
Or
remember when I tell you, it's like keep the healing a secret. So when you do that, when you do return, everyone thinks you still have the cast on you.
I don't think I re-broke it again whenever I go to do it.
You're left to listen to Geek, and then you'll try to do the thing that he says, and you'll re-injure yourself again. Thanks a lot, Geek.
Then he comes after me with the cast.
the ultimate revenge story.
Yeah. Killjoy sends you the shaking head emoji, like
Ding dong, like someone's at the door. I'm like, and just whack with the cast.
Figure yourself do a funny face like that. You did it, Geek.
Sorry, I'm going to retighten the cast.
I don't think he's doing a tire.
Yeah, or you're tightening something with a screw.
This is how you have to do is like you press down on this and then you just twist it. It tightens and pulls in.
It's in someone's tire right now.
or you could use it. You could use it as a movie or something like that. Whoop! It's U571, U571. Over.
Tracy style.
Wish they could have made this thing look like a Pit Boy, but that's okay.
You can always paint the screw silver and be like, "Yeah, look at me, I'm cool." I'm painting gold. Be like, "Yeah, I'm fancy."
So, you guys have any social medias you want to promote also, or?
I finally got a Twitter.
Cool.
I don't really know how it works or anything, so I'm barely on it. But yeah, just at the Kolbe Max, and then
my Instagram's at PW Thunderbird, the Y instead of the I, all that fun stuff. I think my Twitter's the same thing, but I don't even use Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Twitter's hard.
Twitter's the best.
I don't understand it.
Me neither. I'm just learning.
Once you understand Twitter, it's going to be like, oh, that's why people use Twitter.
I
was like that.
These are my people. It's a good SpongeBob clip.
Yes, look at
these are all my people.
And I'm thinking I did something good, and I get an argument on Twitter with a wrestler with what's his face, Geek's obsessed with him from VPW. I got in a quiet argument with a wrestler, and then all I could think is my leg,
my leg.
My leg.
Paul Bryant, somebody who trained at House of Rage with us, well, he still does. He quotes SpongeBob on the regular, and that's definitely one of the things that
Joe's does this one.
Like whenever I'm waiting for wrestlers to respond to us that are really cool, I'm gonna throw a name out there. Oh man, I'm gonna say this name right now. She just actually got on AEW Dark. Jordan Blue.
Respond yeah.
Respond to us, Jordan. I'll wait. Thursday. You can come on the podcast on a Thursday in Women's Month. We'll let you in. Let you cut the line. Sorry. No. Appreciate. What does Roman say? What's that word he always says? Respect me. What is it?
Yeah. Or acknowledge me. Acknowledge me.
No,
acknowledge your tribal chief.
Acknowledge your podcast friend.
Yeah.
No, acknowledge your podcast king.
This makes me not want to go to California because I'm gonna either get attacked by Jordan Blue, like poked in the face, or like you podcast brats bother me, or Danny.
You got acknowledged the other day.
Marco will be the one that says, "Joe, there's a table. There's you.
Throw yourself through the table, Joe." Okay.
Speaking of acknowledgement, Tyler got acknowledged the other day.
What happened?
Oh, let me tell you, I'm the best kept secret in West Virginia.
So
before
breaking news, Joe.
Wait, throw it up, Geek. Throw the breaking news up.
Is it breaking news? I don't know. I just
Anyways.
So before I was a wrestler, I was a referee, and a couple times I'd have people come up and be like, "Oh, you're that ref. You're the ref." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me." And then the other day, I I was at the mall and I was getting something to eat, and there's a woman working there, and she came into my job a couple times, and I recognized her, and I was getting some food, and she looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you're Colby's boyfriend, ain't you?" I'm like, I'm wearing my gimmick shirt too, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. Never once has someone come up and been like, "Hey, you're Tyler Osbourne." It's either that ref or Colby's boyfriend.
I actually got recognized at WrestleCade by somebody I had no idea who it was. So, but hey, at least people knew who you were.
Yeah, I exist.
Nobody recognized me and Joe yet, right, Joe?
Oh, I'm worried for that to happen if we're like at a big WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or wherever we're at, and they're like, "Oh my god," because I don't wear these on a regular because these are like just my stage glasses, and I wear regular brown glasses, and people are like, "How do I know you?" And I'm actually, it did happen, Geek. Don't you totally blank and forgot? It was when I came to see you at the Geek Lab.
He was playing.
I'm wearing my regular glasses.
He was playing with you, Joe, to make you feel good.
Okay, but it sounded funny as hell. So like, how do I know you? And I had these glasses on my shirt, and I'm just like,
you look familiar. Oh,
So it's Joe Panther the Third and brown glasses. Joe Panther the Third and red glasses, like the period platypus. The platypus.
It's like Superman. It's like Superman. You're like Clark Kent. Oh, Superman.
Oh my gosh.
My mom always, when I first started wearing these on the show, she was like, she saw them on my desk. She's like, "What the hell is that on your desk? What the hell? What's up with those wrong with those glasses?" And I'm like, "That's my stage glasses." And I'm like, "Gimmick." She's like, "No, you don't have a gimmick." I'm like, "Yes, I do. I'm Joe the Panther the Third." Oh, at the time it was Junior. She was like, "Just say your name is Joe. You don't need to add the Panther." My dad's like, "But he's he's representing his grandfather." My grandfather wrestled from the 50s and 60s. So, yeah, so I was like, "Well, that's my thing. I'm like a third generation." And she's like, "Oh, God, just don't get yourself in trouble." I'm like, more or less, it's not getting me in trouble. This is getting our name out there. And by me saying my grandfather's name, it's people knowing about it, the history of the old school, what happened back in the old days, the black and white, as I call it, the black and white era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We actually talked about kind of like that history of wrestling not too long ago at training. It was really interesting how like the 50s and 60s they did it and how like professional wrestling got to be like a show and everything.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting history. And I think it's something that needs to be talked about more.
There's a new book I saw at like Books A Million, and I don't know if I'm sure they probably carry it to like all the bookstores, but it's the comic book history of professional wrestling. And it's not a real big book. It's about maybe that thin. Yeah. But it goes through like from back in the Carney days all the way up until like, WWE and everything today.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
Joe, you know what? I just reminded me. You know what this show reminds me of that we do?
What?
What's the cabs with comedians?
Oh God, yes, with
you're just getting in a cab with a comedian and just
it's
with Jerry. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is exactly like that.
We're just bullshit. We're just bullshitting. The show's about nothing. It's just bullshit. That's it.
I can see Jojo all like, "Guys, look at the road. Oh my God, we're gonna crash." Stop fighting.
Dad, he'd just be singing whatever on the radio, and we'd have to constantly tell him that we can't sing because of copyright. Well, granted, we probably wouldn't even have the radio on because of that, but
we're all in a car now, and they're all driving. And
I'm turning. Geek is trying to drive, and I'm turning around, and go. I said, and we did this.
And then it's like, guys, and then me and Joe just start fighting, and then guys. What's the road?
The road.
No.
About to drive off a bridge. No big deal.
The mod sitting in between you guys. Guys, stop fighting.
Do I really sound like that?
No, that's the mod.
You'll be like, "Guys, stop it." That's our mod. She has the Long Island accent.
No. I was gonna say I have a thicker country accent because I have.
We're not talking about cab. We're talking about Cars and Comedians. That's what we're talking
I do like Cash Cab. That is a good show.
Are they still making that?
Probably. You have to realize you're out the loop.
It's something. What is it, Joe? Cars and Comedians. What is it?
I think it's Cars and Comedians with Jerry. I almost said Jerry Springer. Jerry.
Hey, we love some Jerry Seinfeld.
He does. I'm not too sure. The B movie. He's obsessed with the B movie because of Jerry Seinfeld.
It is a good movie. He does have a point with that movie.
It's kind of wonder.
I've told you about me having the B movie script printed out, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah,
Cars
like
Getting
what
Coffee,
school
that's
once when he was like in 10th grade, he like printed out the whole B movie script.
I did.
Oh God.
But it was a gift from one of my exes. She printed off the entire B movie script and gave it to me.
Oh God.
I can never live up to that.
The thing's like 80 pages.
I actually have the script for The Crow.
Joe, it's actually Cars. No, wait, it's actually Comedians and Cars Getting Coffee.
Oh yeah.
That's the
I watched I can't remember how many episodes I watched when Seinfeld hung out with Jay Leno. That was a cool episode.
Sure.
I watched him hang out with Jim Carrey. That was a pretty interesting episode. They were like got two different coffee places, got coffee, and then these people came in and remember he did In Living Color, and it was this old black lady and her husband, and they were like, because he had a massive beard about that time, and the lady they're like, at first she's like, I know you from somewhere, and what's his name goes, Seinfeld goes, oh, I hope you know him. He's been on a really big TV show back in the day. And then she looked at him. He's like, well, I hope you recognize me. I was on a really big show that everybody knew. And then she looked at him. Her husband goes, we don't know. And then she looked at him and she goes, oh my God, you were on Living Color. You're Jim Carrey. Oh my God, I love that show back in the day. That show should be still on today. And he's like, he's like, I know, right? I know, right?
Yeah. Well, I thank you guys so much for coming on our podcast, by the way.
Thank you. The amount of ADHD that has been on the show today is just between us two and you two. The amount of ADHD, I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have ADD and ADHD, so I feel your pain, girl.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, Geek's also a 5-year cancer survivor too. So
I didn't know that.
That's also an answer.
Hell yeah.
Also add to it. So
Yep.
So my brain is all mush right now. So thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember we're indie wrestlers.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Geek, I would never know about the independent scene with the Ring of Honor. Oh, actually, that's my last question before we go. How are your feelings about Ring of Honor possibly being gone?
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know.
I hope they make a comeback.
Same, and I hope
Ring of Honor is that's the one big indie-esque fed that I've really wanted to work for because I've seen guys from around here. I've seen Kincaid get to go over there and wrestle. I've seen Facade wrestle in Ring of Honor, and that's I love that style of wrestling. I love the technical style. That's what I have to start doing now because the broken arm. But it's just
I wanted to go on Ring of Honor.
I think when Sinclair took it over, it ruined it for me.
When who?
Sinclair took it over.
Oh.
When it wasn't no longer indie, it was now mainstream. That kind of ruined it for me. Hopefully, someone could buy it and just be like, go back to the way it was and just repair it.
Yeah.
If you would have one person buy it, who would it be? Who do you think would possibly buy it?
Who would buy Ring of Honor, Joe?
I could see the bubble over your head. The dude that owns AEW,
Tony Khan.
Oh, I heard rumors he's taught. No, wow, I'm gonna get myself in trouble. But I heard rumors that Tony Khan was trying to buy it.
Interesting.
That's what I heard somewhere on Facebook. But I was like,
I wonder what they do in that case. Would it be just another sect? Would it be like an ECW to WWE or an NXT to, that's just what I'm wondering,
I was about to say, Killjoy, I'm thinking maybe he would make them an extension of AEW and make them their Okay, throwing a week out, day in the week out there. Their
NXT.
NXT, which would be like a Monday. Here we go. Toss them against Monday Night Raw. Have that on Mondays and have their show on Thursdays.
Yeah, and I mean,
there you go.
the amount of talent that's in AEW, it would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, because you not only do you have the people who have been on Dark, you have the Nightmare Factory, you have people who are technically not signed,
Yeah.
And then you can have independent wrestlers on there too. It can be like Dark, but yet
they should keep all that up and like all their stuff to do with like the tournaments and
also it sounds kind of mean saying this. Hey, if they do their own show, the wrestlers in Dark don't have to lose anymore. I've said this since I first saw indie wrestlers in AEW on Dark. Let them win matches. Don't let them have them lose. They're sure showing them that's cool, but let them win the matches. Don't let them lose. It shows. I love independent wrestling so much, and I see them losing on AEW Dark. That I'm like, oh, don't make the indies look like that.
I mean, I think a lot of the wrestlers are just happy to be on the opportunity to get the exposure. So
yeah, I feel bad saying that, but I'm like, indie. As I said, if it wasn't for Metal Geek, I would never know about ROH. I'd never know about the indie scene. He makes me love independent wrestling so much. That's why we on Dudes at Ringside, we don't try to spotlight the big wrestlers. That's why we get you guys as guests, because we want to spotlight you guys and give you guys a platform so people that didn't know about you two, now you get like 5 or 6 more fans that you didn't have like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think will be an awesome idea. This is the longest shot, Joe. The longest.
And there goes Geek. And
the longest shot.
Yeah, he died. And
just ends on a.
Oh no!
Ends on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, Geek, you're back. What happened?
Oh no.
Keep talking, Geek.
All right. So I would love to see Brian Myers and Matt Cardona by Ring of Honor.
There we go.
That's something I would love to see because they have so much talent in Cap right now and Victory Pro Wrestling that if they bought Ring of Honor, they could rebrand it.
Yeah, totally. I could see them doing that.
I would, but I don't know how much. The thing is, I don't know how much Sinclair would be willing to sell Ring of Honor for.
Yeah,
or if even will sell it.
Yeah,
we try to get involved with Ring of Honor, and like they pushed us away. Like we don't need anything, but they're too little. You try to get 2 of their people. I'm not gonna say names, but they like kind of like we were like the kid that nobody wants to talk to. I'm like, what do you? No, we're fun. We're the fun uncles. We're the fun uncles that like let you sip a beer when mom's not looking. Like, we're the fun people. Like we're the fun, as you said about when you explained about us, we're the fun podcast that doesn't have the stupid questions.
I mean, there's no such thing as a stupid question, but like,
stupid question, Joe.
What? Hey, I know. I ask stupid questions. I'm fun about it. I'm the fun uncle.
Y'all haven't asked for my mother's maiden name or name of my first pet or anything, so that's cool.
Well, that's our mod. She did ask for pet.
What is the name of the pet, actually?
Mine?
Yeah.
Dublin. He's a Australian Shepherd, so I give him an Irish name.
We had our first Irish wrestler on a few days ago, and she's, oh my goodness, we thought, she's like, I did do deathmatch. I'll send you some videos after the show. She sent us like 9 videos. I had to delete the video on Instagram because I got scared. I thought Instagram gave us a flag because she was doing a match and she had a light tube in her hand and she went to hit the person and they moved and the light tube hit the top turnbuckle and
Yeah, I respect the crap out of anybody who does it, but I cannot do God. Yeah, I can do indie wrestling, deathmatch wrestling.
That stuff freaks me out. Like she sent me a picture of her back. It just looked like hell. Like
Percy Drews once sent me a video of him in a death match, and he said the worst part of it all, between getting slammed through a TV and a bunch of other crap, he said the worst part was getting something stapled to his arm.
Oh,
stapled to your arm.
Yeah, you know that? Yeah, he does death matches.
That just made my stomach gurgle.
yeah.
Stapled to my arm. Here we go. You should ask him random question for dudes at ringside. Staple, thumbtacks or Legos?
I actually will not do thumbtacks. I think I might have already discussed this, but I won't do thumbtacks mainly because it's independent wrestling and I don't know where or who that's been in.
Oh yeah, but we did talk about that with the Legos.
They've
been in a bedroom, but
in the attic somewhere.
Yeah, I won't do thumbtacks.
Like as I said, it could have been in an office that they haven't been in for a year. They go to grab. Hey,
there's a fans bring the weapons match.
Yeah. Hey, I found a bin of thumbtacks. Let's bring him to the show and let poor Colby Max have to deal with it.
Get suplexed on it or something.
Yeah.
I do want to do a fans bring the weapons match, but
not now.
I completely joked with my mom when I was going to the VPW show. I was like, "Oh, this may be a hardcore promotion. I'll bring my Legos." My mom's like, "You are bring Legos to a wrestling show? What kind of show do you want?" And I'm like,
independent wrestling.
My mom's like, "I can help look at your browser history." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "That does not sound like professional wrestling. That sounds like a war." I'm like, "Well, certain wrestling is war." What?
Spell raw backwards.
War.
There was a fans bring the weapons match at a promotion in West Virginia, and Tommy Dreamer was in it. And I brought one of my this plastic flamingo, and he signed it.
That's awesome.
They actually used it in the match.
Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
And Tommy had to go and say the things he did about Ric Flair.
If you guys want to talk about your experiences at WrestleCade, you could talk about it too.
I went to WrestleCade. Unfortunately, he hasn't yet. But I actually didn't know I was going to be working there until 12 hours before. And honestly, a part of me was kind of happy that I didn't, because I was able to enjoy the show and without Stewie in the chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great opportunity that was given to me. Telebis, I can never pronounce his name. Telebistus. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce the right last name. But special thanks to him and Rodney Freeman for getting me on that show. I got the privilege to wrestle against Freya the Slay again. I was in a 4-way between her, Diamante, and Amber Nova, and I got to share the locker room with many great women like Savannah Evans, Mercedes Martinez, Chelsea Green once again. Yeah, other ones. I got to make a lot of good connections. I met a lot of great people. It was amazing, and hopefully next year I'll be able to bring him.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Allows.
I was gonna say fingers crossed, but
hopefully
you'll do it. And there's plenty of wrestlers that are there's plenty of wrestlers that will back you up, saying she's worth coming back. Or if you impressed a promoter at that show, they'll call you back. You know what I mean? There's always hope.
And if anything, promoters I'm pretty sure promoters like it when you follow up to them hey, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'd love to come and work for you again, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what I've been told. It's that promoters like to see that.
If either you guys have matches and you want to send it to us, we could, as you see, we post people's clips. Matches. I know if you have any from just a regular show, I know we would have to ask permission for OVW clips, because I don't want you to send us OVW.
Well, you can just get them off Fight TV, but
okay. Yeah, but if you have any regular, just random clips, matches, either you guys, both of you from their matches, you can send it to us.
As long as it's okay.
Video of you getting pile driven.
Oh, geez.
I'm waiting to find that.
He took this pile driver like a champ, let me tell you.
Yeah, I got pile driven last Sunday.
Ron
Pile driven?
Mathis. Is that what's the past tense of pile driver? Pile driven?
Pile driven, I guess.
I guess so.
I'm learning how
Yeah.
to write like sentence like that. So I think it's pile drive, pile driven.
Pile driven, Joe.
Pile drove.
Yeah,
Pile drove.
I think it's pile driven sounds better.
Get pile driven. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Sounds like a car. Sounds like a ride. I'm gonna get pile driven. Yeah.
Didn't WWE used to have like some ride at like Niagara Falls? It was some drop tower ride they called the pile driver.
I think so.
What?
The Titan Towers or something.
Maybe it was some.
It was in a book.
Was it
I
that
remember-
thing in New York?
I think it was in the new Mick Foley book, the old Mick Foley book, the kids book he had, where all the kids would ride like Vinnyland or something. There was something called Vinnyland, and there was a ride called Titan Towers, and Kurt Angle was like scared to go on the ride or something like that. I don't know. It's fun. It's a funny book. Mick Foley. Mick Foley, he's the man. Yeah.
Al Snow talked about when we had him on, talked about how him and Foley how they like each other. Their relationship.
But yeah, Mick Foley, the local Long Island legend, right here. You know?
Right here, Long Island, New York.
Yeah.
His first match was actually in West Virginia.
Oh,
Wow, that's awesome.
He went to good old William Floyd High School on Long Island, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, I didn't know that till I got into college, and people are like, "You didn't know that?" I'm like, "I knew it, but I didn't know because went to school and all my friends used to talk about Mick Foley, and I'm just like, yeah, okay." I didn't get it back then, but now I do. Now I know why they're talking.
That's something, and we can relate to that being because we started wrestling when we were in high school. Of course, you were always that odd one out.
Yeah, it's funny. My friends used to get me into like ECW and stuff like that, and I kind of I went more into like the WWF stuff than watching ECW. I'm like, I'll watch it, but I know that stuff's more aggressive, and I'll watch the WWF stuff. But I'll watch ECW. That stuff was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Geek.
All right. We want to thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you so much. We wish you guys came back in the future.
We want you to come back.
Oh, you know we will.
Come back. Tell your friends. Tell all your friends about us.
Definitely.
We're not that bad.
We're not that bad. Thunderbird, tell your fellow friends, and we'll definitely have to get together for that.
We need to get Sid on here.
Oh yeah.
You need Sid on here.
Yes.
Sid Myers.
Yeah.
Naughty one.
We'll do the tag team month, and then you can come back with your tag team partner.
Me and Judy can possibly come too.
Yes. And she'll play the turtle with her again.
But you guys need to have Sid on here.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys need to come down to the East Coast, down to New York. You know.
Well, if I come up there, I'll probably bring Tyler.
Yes, bring Tyler. We'll eat bagels. Have a cup of coffee in the morning. Have some bagels.
Pizza.
Have some pizza. We'll have tacos. We'll show you all the fun spots to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Long Island's surrounded by water, so you can have
me and Joe, maybe one day we'll go down to West Virginia, right?
West Virginia. Get some yummy.
Get you some Tudor's biscuits and
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama.
one of my favorite Twitch streamers lives in Long Island, so that's cool.
What's his name? Geek me know him.
It's Gone Sauce Vinny. I think he lives in Long Island.
Yeah,
I don't think I know him, but it's like
I thought that's the one you always talk about, Geek. That you saw at the coffee place and you freaked out. And then
no, he doesn't live. He doesn't live in Long Island. He actually lives. I think he lives in Louisiana. He said.
Oh.
So.
Yep. So yeah, we'll work on that tag team month. We'll figure out what month we want to do it, and we'll collab with both of you guys. That'd be fun. We'll one episode at a time, so it's not like 4 screens. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. All right. So this is Geek and Joe. We're signing out. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Later.
Sunday.